edition of Playing WoW with Pro Gamer Nana. I gotta get my...
Your dad has accepted the difficult task of sleeping while we record so he doesn't interrupt us.
Oh, wow. He's taking a sacrifice.
Right.
All right. And here we go. We are live. And it is public. So we're doing the thing. All right, here we go. All right, Mom.
Okay, kid.
We finished the tutorial the last time we played. And so now, let's load in. So now what we are going to do is we are going to, as all new players in World of Warcraft do, we're going to be ushered off into the Dragonflight expansion, which is, this is the little splash screen. We just had a new patch with some new stuff, which is kind of neat. But all that is kind of end game stuff, not stuff that you really need to deal with right now. Okay. Although they did just reveal, do a big old reveal of a player housing system where everybody's going to be able to have a house that they'll be able to decorate. So maybe, we'll, when that comes out later this year, we'll be able to, make a house, decorate your house together with all sorts of funky stuff.
That'd be fun.
So I want to very quickly, we're going to do a little bit of maintenance for your character to make things a little bit easier for us. So one of the systems in the game is called a warband. And what that means is every character on my Battle.net account, which includes you and me and also Evan, are part of the same warband. So we actually have a bank that we can access. That shares a bunch of stuff. And so I'm actually going to go to the bank in Stormwind, and we're going to pull some stuff out of the warband bank that will make the game a little bit more convenient for you and me. And so I'm going to talk to the banker. And then we go to the warband bank.
Into the banker?
Yep, this is the bank. And you can tell it's the bank because they got the vault. Yep, here we are. This is the vault.
Because I have an icon that shows me sleeping with Z's coming out of my head.
Yep, and that means you
sleeping and doing something at the same time.
Well, what those Z's mean is one of the ways that World of Warcraft kind of encourages people to, and here we go, let me get the bags.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. One of the things that World of Warcraft does to kind of encourage people to kind of do other stuff is as long as you are in a capital city, which is what we are in, we're in Stormwind, or as long as you're in a city or in an inn, you are resting, and while you are resting, you actually earn an experience point bonus. So if you take a day or two off and then you come back, you actually get we're gonna get double experience for a while, while we go and play stuff. And so the way you know that you are resting is you see the Z's popping out of your characters. And so that is that's why we're able to do stuff while we are there. So I am going to
that makes perfect sense.
I thought so. And so what I did is I went ahead and grabbed some bags for us. And what happens, we've been gaining bags, and so you see how we have this little backpack in the corner. This is how many spaces we have, right? And you remember how we picked stuff up and everything picked up, took up a slot, and occasionally we had to sell stuff. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So what I did, and this is just by nature of the fact that because this is a social game and you have a friend who plays, me, right? I am gifting this character some bigger bags. And so like the first bag you got had only 6 spaces in it, and so I'm going to replace them all with bags that have 32. Because I'm a higher level character, and so you can actually see as I replace all these, this thing's just going to keep getting bigger. And all this does is it makes it like it doesn't really change a ton. But what it does is it means that like our bags aren't going to overfill, and we're not going to have to spend as much time on the stream, like farting around with the stuff in our inventory, because that's just not fun. I don't think. So the way that the bags work is you have 4 main bag spots alongside with your backpack. And that's what this big bag is. It's a combined backpack is what it shows here. And then they make these things called reagent bags. And really what this means is there are some things that we find, like cloth and, herbs and stuff like that you use to make stuff. And those go into a separate bag so that they don't clog everything up. So this is now where our inventory will go. And so it'll just be easier to deal with.
Things that you use to make stuff goes in the little one.
Yeah.
And in the big one are...
That's going to be...
achieve goals.
That's going to be like those armor, weapons, and junk. Like these things are all junk because they're, the things that we would just sell. I'm going to... but like quest items and things like that will come up too. Let me go ahead and get out my yak. Well, you know what? We're not going to use the yak. I'm going to go to the inn too. So this is an inn, and I can talk to this vendor, and I can sell stuff right here, and kind of clean out the bags a little bit before we go on an adventure. Let's do our homework a little bit.
I cannot read any of the words on the screen.
Oh, there's nothing to read right here. This is all just me clicking buttons.
But I can't.
Oh yeah, no. I can barely read these. But all I'm doing is just right-clicking on stuff, and basically I open up this little thing. I can actually make the UI a little bit bigger. We could try that. But what this is just all the stuff that you can buy, and it doesn't mean anything. It's like different kinds of bread. That at this point don't really mean anything, but but what you do is you just right click on everything in your inventory when you have this thing open, and it automatically sells it, and it just adds the money to your total gold. So we have 21 gold now. We're rolling in it, Mom.
Okay. And we're going to use that to buy things we can use, like armor and.
If we need to, yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm gonna guess just because it's been a while since I played Dragonflight, but my guess is that the majority of the treasure we get will be like the majority of the armor and weapons we get are going to come from quests as rewards. I don't think we'll actually have to spend any gold on stuff. But it's been a minute. But generally speaking, once you get past. Once you get past the opening, most of the stuff that you would spend gold on would be, it wouldn't necessarily be on the gear that you wear unless you're buying it from another player.
Gotcha.
Which is a whole nother system that we can deal with when we are later, when we go on. So, and I'm also going to do one other last thing, and I appreciate your patience while I mess around with all this.
Who's the character that I'm looking at the back of them? Who is that? Who is that character that I'm looking? Yeah, who's that?
You. You just happen to be on
That's me.
Griffin.
Okay. Here's the deal. I did not realize I was on something, so I didn't recognize myself.
Yep, I hopped onto you do look a little different, but yeah, you are on this Griffin that we got.
How did we get this animal? This wonderful...
was I grabbed this. So mounts are shared across the warband. so all of us have access to the same mounts, and I have a big list of them. So like, for example, if we wanted to ride this pretty butterfly instead, we could do that. I've got a lot of them because I generally just kind of pick one and kind of go with it. So,
the one I was on was fine. I just didn't recognize myself from behind with that crazy tail.
Sure. Yeah. So,
there we go.
And then
he looks like a powerful flyer.
This one, yeah. They mechanically speaking, they're all the same, but I do like the Griffin flying animations. I am a big fan. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of the skywriting stuff, which we'll talk about later, into my onto my bars here, so that way we can fly.
Okay.
And
skills that relate to flying.
Yes, because we are the way that you fly in World of Warcraft now is you use they call it dynamic flight. So the idea is I'm kind of dipping down low to kind of gain speed, and like it's more as opposed to it just going straight in a direction like I run. I have a little bit more control over it. So some people like it, some people hate it. We got a person in the chat and I missed it. Hey Kev, sorry about yes, this is World of Warcraft. I'm actually playing a character that my mom created, and we're kind of learning about it. So yes, this is World of Warcraft. And so yeah, so what I did was I grabbed some of the abilities that are Dragonflight related. One of them lets me fly up, so I can get like a burst of speed, and it's just how you move around. So what we are going to do now is we are going to hop down into the castle of Stormwind Keep, and we are going to start the quest line. So before I do it, I'll show you who these guys are. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The important guys, this dude right here, that is kind of highlighted in yellow. This guy's name is his name is Wrathion. This is the thing. I'm not going to go into like the whole lore because it would take hours. But the important thing is to remember is this guy is a dragon. Because in the World of Warcraft lore, dragons, powerful ones, can take on a human form. And a big piece of that is just because it's easier to animate a dude on a screen than to have like a giant dragon, because they are quite big. But his name is Wrathion. There are a lot of people that do not like him because he has historically been kind of a jerk. And there's a whole bunch of things. He is related to a dragon that caused a great cataclysm some number of years ago. So like we have reason to not trust him as like a people, but he's trying to help. Like this is kind of like an enemy of your enemy is your friend kind of deal. And so we learn a lot about him in the Dragonflight expansion. Go figure. We learn about the dragon guys in the Dragon expansion. So this guy to the right is Scale Commander Azurathel. We don't see him a lot, but he is a Drakthir from the Dragon Isles, which is where we're going to go. And he's the guy that came to talk to the Alliance. And this is a guy named Turalyon, who is, all you really need to know is he's in charge of Stormwind right now because the king recently left. We got Kevin saying he's incredibly late to the game with WoW. My mother is not alone. Well, hey, listen, this is if you're interested in World of Warcraft and have not played it, this is probably the best stream to watch because I am kind of getting into it, and we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty without really obsessing over the details. So this dude's in charge of Stormwind, which is the capital of the Alliance. This is a dragon. This is a dragon person.
Okay.
This lady, Toddy Whiskers, is in charge of the Dragon Scale Expedition. They're basically like archaeologists. And we see this person for a handful of quests. They're not super important, but let's start the let's start the cutscene, and it will kind of set the whole thing up for us. I'll be quiet.
Can I ask a question?
Yep. Before I start it, yep. Go ahead.
Before you start, can I ask a question? Okay, you've given me some background about these characters and why we might or might not trust them and stuff like that. As a new player, I don't know any of that.
You probably don't. I'm giving you a little bit more. As a new player, I mean, this guy doesn't exactly scream trustworthy just from his design.
I need that information in order to play. I don't.
No, you don't need that. I'm just sharing that because I know you're interested in that kind of stuff. In general, a new player would walk up to this guy and be like, I don't know, just some dude.
Right.
Yeah. But we learn a lot about this. Like I said, we learn a lot about this guy throughout the story of this expansion. There's a lot of stuff to do that is about him.
Knowing the background of the characters does not affect my ability to play.
Not at all.
Okay.
It's kind of like, starting to, this is the equivalent really of like, starting to watch the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like, in the middle of Phase 3. Like you missed Iron Man 1, but like, you figure it out. They do a pretty good job of giving us the information that we need, I think. And really, you can play the game without really even paying attention to the story if you like. But I know you kind of like to know a little bit more, so I wanted to give you some of that.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff that I just said, like 90% of it will kind of come out, the emotion behind it and all that will kind of come out in this cutscene.
Perfect.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to complete the quest. And the quest was go see this guy. Oops. Oh boy, I almost blinked off the screen. That's bad. Bear with me a moment here. I keep hitting my buttons, and all right, here we go.
I remember blinking. That's when you move a really far distance.
Yep.
Okay.
The good news is Blink will never move you off of a cliff. So what I did is I blinked, and it wouldn't let me blink out into the air, so I would fall. So it just put me behind him, which is convenient because I mouse wheel forward way too much, and that's what it's bound to. So let's get this started. And really all it's doing is saying thanks for coming to talk to me, and now it gives me the option to listen to him, and then it turns on the cutscene. So when the cutscene's done, we'll talk about what they said. But I think it'll be pretty clear.
I am pleased that you have accepted our invitation to the Dragon Isles, Lord Commander.
During the dark days of the Cataclysm, the Aspects made great sacrifices to save our world. The Alliance will answer the call and stand together with Dragonkind once again.
Alexstrasza shall be most appreciative. Though she will insist that you do not bring any lingering conflicts to her shores.
You have my word that this will be an expedition, not a military maneuver. To honor our truce with the Horde, I have instructed the Explorers League to work in concert with the Reliquary.
Just think of all the ancient knowledge we can discover together.
The Dragon Isles is our home, not a place for outsiders to plunder. The Dracthyr will accompany the Alliance on this journey, but it will take time to build trust between us.
As a fellow soldier, I share your wariness, Azurathel.
Splendid! You two have found common ground already. Now then, let us begin preparations for our voyage. The Dragon Isles await.
So you can tell, I mean, just from listening to that guy talk, he's one of those guys. And so the setup for this is there's nonsense happening on the Dragon Isles, and that's where the expansion takes place. He talked about a character named Alexstrasza, and this is to a brand new player, you'd have no idea who it was. We're going to find out who she is now, as soon as we get there, or relatively quickly after we get to the islands. Exactly. This is, we're going on an adventure. It's a classic D&D style quest. Yeah, pretty much. This one is very fantasy. And so there are a series of dragons that represent different kinds of that represent magic and life and all that stuff. And they represent different colored dragon flights. And so we're going to go meet some of them as we go around and explore. And so Alexstrasza's the one in charge. She's the big mama. So we're going to go meet her in a moment. So,
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
From listening to the two people talk, obviously two warring groups are going to try to cooperate to do this. Is one group from the Alliance and the other group from the Horde?
One group is the Alliance and the other group is the Horde.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we're talking about them trying to form an alliance to achieve a goal.
Correct. Basically,
don't trust each other. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, the Alliance and the Horde still hate each other at this point in the story. The Alliance and the Horde are largely cooperative.
Okay.
However, as history goes in World of Warcraft, the name probably says it all. We go to, lots of expansions we go to a new place and then we make a mess of things by bringing war there. So, that line was Wrathion saying, hey, could you not?
Right.
And Turalyon agreed. And that does kind of set it up. This particular expansion is one where we have different story. They have some different little beats. If we were playing a Horde character, it would be a little different to get set up. But we share it. We all live in the same all the Alliance and the Horde players are in the same capital city, and it's the factions are not at war during this expansion.
But I am technically on Toady Whisker's side. We're both Alliance.
Yeah, because we're Alliance, and that's just the way the game is played.
Okay.
The quest says, I cannot wait to see the Dragon Isles with you, Gold Hooves. Now then, I believe that diminutive ally of yours said something about putting together an expedition. He's talking about Toddy. He's kind of a jerk. But now she's got a quest for us. The name's Toddy. I'll be heading up our band of cheery adventurers under the banner of the Dragon Scale Expedition. We'll get into the details later. For now, let's focus on gathering up our crew. Every expedition worth its salt has a variety of folk. We'll be needing scholars, artisans, and of course, explorers. Well, what are you standing here for? Assemble that crew. So now we're going to travel around Stormwind and recruit explorers, artisans, and scholars. And this is pretty quick. So I'm going to hop out here and then get on my mount. And if I look on the map, I should pick up this guy's quest too. This Toddy's enthusiasm is admirable, but I hope it does not blind her to the dangers awaiting in the Dragon Isles. Regardless, the Obsidian Warders are duty-bound to protect the expedition. I must speak with Wrathion and the Lord Commander about the mission ahead. My fellow Drakthir are exploring the city. Seek out Dervishian, my trusted lieutenant, and inform her that we are to rally at the docks. She will relay my orders to the rest. So now we need to find. So now we're gonna just travel around Stormwind, delivering orders to people.
So as soon as you click on your ride, it appears and you're on it.
Yep.
Just click on it.
Yeah. In my, I click on it in the bars and it just pops right up.
Okay, got it.
So now I can look at the map, and this is Stormwind. And so now what I'm doing is I'm looking here, and it gives me little markers on the map. Now I know you can't read this, and that's okay. These are where to go, and it kind of gives me the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these. So I'm going to click. They're in the same area, so I'm just going to pick one. And what it will do is it actually gives me a on the mini map up here, which again you might not be able to see terribly well. It actually tells me where to go.
Okay.
So I'm just flying, and now I land, and we gotta let him load in because and here we go. There's Dervishian. I get off my mount. And you can kind of tell that she's somebody that I need to look at because it might be a little tough to see because she's yellow. But things that I need to interact with have like this little have an outline. Whereas these other guys,
they
have a green one when I mouse over it, but like she looks different because she has this yellow outline around her.
Okay.
And so when I mouse over her and click her, it says, "Welcome to our makeshift training ring, friend. Because we are not disturbing anyone up here, I've instructed the warders to be very careful to keep the passive magic from falling down below." That's very kind of you. I have an option here to say, "Scale Commander Azurathel would like you to meet him at the docks." And then I click that, and there, I delivered the message.
Okay.
And they stopped training, and they're all going to take off.
Okay.
So that's one.
Get back on your mount.
And
It's going to show you where the second one is.
yep, and the next one is this guy. Help you, and then he says, "Help you with something. I'm sort of busy showing these trainees the finer points of scaling walls. We need, and then I can say, we need explorers for an expedition to the Dragon Isles. Will you join us?" And so he's got guys climbing. Kind of hard to see, but they're down there. And I say, we need explorers, and I'm going to do it. And there we go. And then it will show me the next one, which is right here is the next one. And now I can go, and now we've got this Thalen Dark Anvil guy. And it says, "This craftsmanship is something else. You can learn a lot by studying the work of others. Just the thought of what lies ahead gets me excited. We need artisans for an expedition to the Dragon Isles. Will you join us?" So I'm gonna say this to him, and now I have recruited the artisans.
How do you know he's an artisan?
I don't, outside of the fact that he was yellow and he was a quest target.
Okay.
He doesn't really look like one, if I'm being honest.
But
I
as
don't
long
think
as
of.
he's blind yellow, you know he's the one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
easy. Okay.
And so same thing with this guy. He's got the little yellow around him. And now we can talk to him. No quill, no ink. The gnome shakes his head. "How do you expect me to sign an autograph if you don't come prepared?" Oh, so he's expecting me to ask for his autograph. "We need scholars for an expedition to the Dragon Isles. Will you join us?" His name's Cataloger Wolford. And he, so now I delivered my quest. And so he's going to gather these guys up. And so now I have done my 2 quests. And now it's going to tell me that I want to finish my quests over here.
Okay.
And so let's pop up. And now we complete the quest with Toddy Whiskers. Our scouts report that turbulent elemental storms are churning the seas to dangerous, unnatural levels. Until those clear, we won't be going anywhere. Why don't you see? Excuse me. Why don't you see what you can help with around here while we wait? Okay. So I'm going to complete these 2 quests. Congrats on level 13, Mom. And now we're going to turn that one in too. And Archmage Khadgar, he just popped out of a portal, and now he's got some stuff to say. This is another character that we'll learn a lot about over this expansion. And he says, "Apologies for my abrupt arrival, but the news I bring cannot wait for pleasantries." Hello, Gold Hooves. It's been a while. I'm sorry.
He's a mage like I'm a mage.
Yes. He
Okay.
is. He's like one of the he's like arguably like one of the most powerful mages in like all of World of Warcraft. He's a tough dude. And he says, "Hello, Gold Hooves. It's been a while, and I wish we had more time to catch up. But you see, I just had a rather enlightening, make that foreboding, yes, a foreboding conversation with an old friend. Sometimes a revelation can be both, after all. I really must tell you of what I've learned, and the quest is to talk to him. So we're going to accept it. And now we're going to ask him what happened, and then we're going to get a little cutscene.
Okay. A cutscene. Okay.
Yep. Just like before.
I did not expect to see you again so soon, my friend. After you'd answered the call of the Isles.
Something has happened, Khadgar. Something terrible.
Kalecgos, tell me.
It all happened so quickly. And Rathian, young as he is, bravely or perhaps foolishly tried to stop it. But he was too late. The Tempest had already been unleashed.
Wow.
She let me live with a message. They are coming to cleanse the world of the Titan's stain. Alexstrasza, who is she? What is she?
She is Raszageth, youngest of the primal incarnates.
Incarnate?
4 dangerous adherents of the elemental forces. At the dawn of the aspects, our flags embraced the Titan's gifts.
I'll explain all this in a minute.
Did not.
The war that followed was unimaginable, and it took all of our strength combined to banish them.
If they were so dangerous, why were they not destroyed?
I hadn't the heart to do it. We were once as clutchmates.
Time, it seems, has not quelled their fury. And look at us. Should she free her kin now, we haven't the strength to stop them. And if Iridicrum's hunger is unleashed,
then we have no choice. If we are to be protectors once more, the aspects of our dragonflights must be made anew.
Our queen is determined, Khadgar. But we've only just begun to find who we are again. And I fear that without help, we may never get the chance to see our future secured.
Then it seems the mortal races too must answer the call and face the storms ahead.
Okay. So there's a whole lot of exposition. High level. Long time ago. There were so a long time ago there was a war between like the dragons, and there were the guys that you see that look like kind of people. These guys,
Yeah.
kind of got into a war with some other dragons, and you know they've literally written entire books about this. So essentially, some of them were given gifts by the Titans, which are these kind of powerful beings from space, really, and those are those are kind of were given those powers to kind of protect Azeroth, the planet that we're on. That big lightning dragon that you saw, she called her Razageth, is a dragon that kind of rejected that power, and they kind of put themselves, they were enemies. The dragons that accepted the Titan's power are the ones that won, and those guys were imprisoned, and Razageth escaped for various reasons. And so Razageth and her elemental minions are going to try and get rid of all of the Titan magic from the world for various reasons. And that's kind of like the main conflict of this expansion.
Okay.
So that blue guy that was talking to Khadgar is one of the dragons. And he came to get Khadgar because he's really powerful and he can rally all the forces from the various mortal races, as he just said he was going to do. And now he's talking to you because you're kind of a big deal.
Okay, so the Titans, they kind of look like Zeus and the Greek gods over Earth. Okay.
You saw one of those. Yeah, I sent you one of those videos. Yeah, they definitely fill that kind of role.
Okay. The aspects.
So all of the different dragons have a, they kind of represent like a different kind of magic. And they have a different role. So like the guy that had the brown hair and the gold armor, he's in charge of the dragonflight that's responsible for time.
Oh, I was just going to say, it sounds like the stones.
Yeah, it's very, very similar.
Okay,
so,
I got it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so he's in charge of time, and one of them's in charge of magic, and there's another one that's in charge of life, and stuff like that. So basically non-elements. The elements are kind of, they're the other guy's thing. That's Razageth. She's a lightning dragon, and then there's an earth dragon and a fire one, etc., etc.
Are we going to support the group that believes in the aspects, or the group that didn't believe in the aspects?
We're going to go help the aspects. In fact, our main quest going around the Dragonflight is we're actually going to help each of the aspects we're going to learn about them, and then we're going to help them kind of grow.
Perfect. Got it.
All right. So he's got a quest, and so let's see. And basically he just says, yeah, that was weird, is more or less what he says.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk to Toddy. She says, great news, Goldhooves. The spearhead of our expedition has made landfall in the Dragon Isles. Thanks to the efforts of yourself and other Dragon Scale expedition members, we've established a protected landing site and made contact with the Dragonflight's embassy. Are you prepared to accompany us on our next voyage to the Dragon Isles? Yes, as a matter of fact, as I am. So now we just wait a minute. This guy right here has a little bar above his head, and now we wait a few minutes until the next boat gets here. So we've got a few minutes.
So he's green, so he's not outlined in yellow. We don't need to click on him, but he's got a message above him.
Yeah, that bar above him, you can't read it, but what it is it's a timer that says how long it'll be before the next boat to bring us to the Dragon Isles will be. And so when I mouse over it, it says 3 minutes and 44 seconds until the next boat leaves for the Dragon Isles.
It's pretty cool, that boat.
Yep. And then, so now the boat is here, so I can hop onto it. Yeah. Oh, I could just take a portal. I'm going to take the portal.
Okay.
So this is a portal that'll take us right to the Dragonflight, but if we wanted to, we could come here and we would wait until the boat left, which is in about 3 minutes. but I don't want to stand here for 3 minutes. I'm going to click this and take the portal. They put the portal there because they put the portal there because technically other people, we've already I've already completed these quests, so rather than make you wait.
Right.
And all it does is the boat takes you, I mean, that's the boat.
Right.
So I'll just start. This is what it would look like if we got off the boat. We would come here, and there's a little camp with a bunch of guys. And there's Scale Commander Azurathel.
Okay.
And we are, it says, just Toddy says, welcome to the Dragon Isles. I complete the quest, and now 3 people got quests for us. So now, Azurathel, Azurathel glances suspiciously at the proto-dragons lurking on the ridge behind him. I swear that those proto-dragons edge closer to the camp every time I turn my back. Those are not the dragons Wrathion invited us to meet. Proto-dragons are ruthless predators who cannot be reasoned with. We must be ruthless in return. Call their numbers. Okay, so go kill a bunch of dragons. Got it. And then Toddy says, don't mistake the expedition's scholarly pursuits as timidness, Goldooz. We are not recluses studying books in far-off towers. We're adventurers hunting down knowledge firsthand in every corner of Azeroth. That same passion for adventure often leads us into the path of perils and hazards, and a few expedition members have bitten off a little more than they can chew. But hey, the danger makes it more fun. So now we have to rescue 3 Dragon Scale expedition members in the Wild Coasts. So we're going to go find some guys. And then what does Thalen want? Thalen is busy tinkering with a gadget in his hands. These explorers are throwing around their grappling hooks by hand. Can you believe that? Imagine if the grappling hook could launch itself automatically when you need it the most. So he wants practice materials. The proto-dregs are unlike any I've seen before. Their scales appear to be naturally flame resistant, stronger than steel, and don't lose flexibility in the process. Incredible. The artisans are clamoring to get their hands on some to work with. Start with the whelps. The smaller scales should be more pliable until I've mastered our techniques. So now I'm going to fight proto-whelps, these little tiny dragons, and get the scales from them. So now I have 3 quests. We do have a new talent point to spend. And now we have a new spell.
Do you always get all the quests and then do them? Or
Yeah.
You don't ever, just do one at a time?
I always, in general, when I walk into a place and they give me multiple quests at once, I will pick up all of them that I can, because if we look at the map, all these quests are in the same area. So, I can do them all at once.
Okay.
So it's just more efficient. You could do them one at a time if you wanted, but it's just not
Not efficient.
It's not the best thing to do. So so now we have a new talent point. So now we're going to get a new ability. This is called Frozen Orb.
Oh.
Frozen Orb is pretty cool. I'm going to take that and put it on the bars. And then we're going to put some of these other abilities up here because we don't need them on our action bar anymore.
These are... Which one is the action bar, the top or the bottom?
Well, all of these are technically action bars, but this is the one where remember how I talked about hitting 1 and 2 and 3, etc.?
Yeah.
This is the one that has my 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 buttons.
Okay. That's
so
what I
put my abilities that I want to use frequently on there. So what Frozen Orb does is it just shoots forth a big orb of frost that hits everything in its path and freezes them. All right, so now we are here. Oh, we got some guys. So there's my Frozen Orb. And as you can see, we got them. Those guys kind of chased right after me. And what's cool about this one is it'll stay out there, and if there are enemies in front of it, it will just keep doing damage for a little while.
Which is different than Ice Flows.
Yeah, it's different than the other spells that we've done, because the other ones, they only do damage, right away, right? They do damage once, and then they stop. Whereas that one, it shoots out, and it'll stay, and it can hit multiple enemies.
Okay.
So now we're just doing the quest like we did before, right? You know, so we select the guy, and they're not that tough.
Because they're babies.
Because yeah, exactly. They're not all that tough. So these are the drakes are a little bit bigger. And then the other enemies that we have to look for, and the ones that we want to get, and we want to make sure we hit, are these whelps, because they are smaller, and they're the ones that we can get the scales from.
The scales, okay.
Yep. And so what I'm doing is I'm just picking them one at a time, and just like if you're looking at enemies or other characters that you have to interact with when you search things, if it's an item that is important, and you probably can't see this, but it's actually highlighted in yellow in this loot box window. So very convenient. It'll tell me right away. And so now I just continue to run around. I know that there is, looking at the map up here, I can see little circles where I think people who need to be rescued are. So I'm just going to head in that direction and kind of beat up dragons on the way.
Are you doing what are you shooting at them?
I am shooting the first thing so when I target them, the first thing I do is I shoot a frostbolt.
Okay.
And then I shoot a fire blast.
Okay.
If there's only one guy to hit. So
the one you just picked up.
Frozen Orb is the one that I just picked up, and I am not going to use that unless I'm attacking a bunch of stuff, because it has a 1 minute cooldown, so I can only cast it once every minute. So I want to save that a little bit. And the other thing is, like, these enemies die pretty quick, and so I'm kind of saving it for if I'm attacking a bunch of things at once.
So that orb thing is in the position 2, and we're watching the timer tell you when it's restocked.
Position 2 is the fire blast. So,
okay, that has to restock also. Okay.
Yep. And that one's only on a 14-second cooldown.
Okay.
So it's a little faster.
I can't see the numbers or anything, but I could see things rotating, and I realized that was so I know when they're available again.
Well, you know what? They added a new thing. So let's see if they actually added a new thing. So let's see if hold on. Let me see what I can do, because they actually added a new they call it a cooldown manager, and it might actually be we might actually be able to make this a little big and make it so it's a little easier to see all this stuff. So let me get it out of here, and then we'll put it and make it huge for you so you can really get in there and see what I'm doing.
Okay.
This is like something they just added brand new, and I don't use it on any of my characters, but this is special stuff. So I'm going to put them right here above you, and we're going to make them huge.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I want to do it? I want to make it vertical. Oh, this will be cool. This will be cool. And then we're going to make it freaking big. Make it as big as we can.
Okay.
And then we're going to make this vertical. And I'm going to make this one as big as I can. Oh, yeah. This is going to be cool. This is going to be like the Pro Gamer Nana streamer UI.
Okay.
So that you can actually see stuff.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited about this. And then the buffs. We'll put that vertical also. We'll make this one big, and we're just going to put them right over here. Let's see if this helps. Oh, come on. This is like, they give you some pretty fine controls to...
It's like in Christmas cards on Publisher.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I mean, you're not wrong. The little guys. All right, so this will be a little bit better. So those guys ran up to me, and just like I had done before, right? I used my. So now we're on a bit of an emergency. So let's. Oh wow. So now I created my little frozen thing. The frozen orb. And these guys are beating the crap out of me. Because there's a bunch of dragons, and so I'm just throwing little ice lances at them to try and get rid of them. I was messing around with my menus, and I did not fly away. That was a bit of a mistake. So now, when I am in combat, it'll actually show my cooldowns, so you'll have an idea as to what we're doing. So that should make it a little easier.
Okay.
Can you see these here? Can you? All right. And so if it's gray, I can't use it. So like my frozen orb is gray. Can you read the number? Oh, I searched.
11. Yeah, I see the number.
All right, good. So now you'll know when we're in combat. I'm going to change the option there so that it's visible all the time. Let's see here. I think I would prefer it to be always visible. Okay, so now we're good. And now we should be able to see it. And look, there's a guy who got stuck under these bones. So
Okay.
What I do is I get close enough, and oh, you know what? The other thing we did. I remember we actually changed the mouse under the accessibility sections. I remember we did this. We actually made the mouse cursor huge so that you could actually see what I was doing.
Yep.
So let's do that.
Okay.
General. How do I... Cursor size. We made it big. All right, so now it changes to the hand thing, and now we can click it, and so I'm stabbing the bones trying to knock them out, and there we go. Now we rescued Professor Cogcatcher.
Oh, good.
So she is safe. Now we gotta go to another one.
Red. Wow.
Yeah, you do some damage. That is the whole being mage thing.
He's throwing at this dragon.
I'm sorry?
What's the weapon that you're using on this dragon that you're throwing?
Those were frost bolts.
Frost bolts.
Yep.
And that's on the right side with the 3. It's the top one, right?
It is this one to the left, and it is
that one.
Bear with me. So that is Blizzard, which is an ability that I actually didn't realize I had. I didn't think we had that yet. But let me get it. Oh, okay. Okay, so I didn't realize I had this one. I'm messing up. Okay, so Blizzard is actually really cool. So let me show you. So Blizzard, I can cast it and see how it creates this green thing on the ground.
Yep.
That is a target where it'll show me where it'll cast, and then what it does is when I cast it, it drops snow and ice on that ground and hits everything in the area and slows it. I did not realize I had Blizzard. That's actually really cool. So I would use that if I was attacking like a big group of guys. And
right.
I didn't realize I had it. What I'm doing, the Frostbolt doesn't have a cooldown, so it's not going to appear on any of these abilities. Right. Okay, so I know there is, because I looked at the map, I know there is someone that is needing rescued. And look, here we go. We got a guy who was up in the air.
Oh, jeez.
And we gotta, so he is getting carried away by dragons. So what we gotta do is just get below him, and I'm gonna throw a rock at the dragons. And we just saved Archivist Relid.
Okay. You gotta hit the dragons and not the guy.
I did, so we're good.
Okay.
Now we've got another thing to do up here, so now we're gonna fight these guys. Now this is interesting. These are hostile enemies that are they're called Scythids, and they were fighting the dragons, and so I killed the dragon, and then they came after me, like some ungrateful jerks. But there's a monster in here that I want to go fight, so we're gonna go get him. So we fight our way through. Again, Frostbolt and then Fire Blast, the one that's on a 14-second cooldown. We want to do that whenever we can. And we fight our way through. We're almost level 14, too. That's definitely going to happen when we turn in this quest. Now we're just fighting our way through. There's a big queen in the back that I would like to fight because she is you can tell when you click on her. See how she has like this little symbol underneath her?
Right.
I mean, she is a rare spawn, and what that means is she's not always there. And often rare spawns are a little bit more powerful, but they often drop better treasure. And so whenever I see one, it's kind of like the treasure chest. I always make a point to go get one. Gotcha. So now I'm going to cast my Ice Shield, and then here we go.
Shield. Gotcha.
And now she's here. So now we are getting away. And we got her. And you get a good amount of experience for killing rares too. So now we're up to level 14. And then we search her. And we got some cool stuff. The cool thing is we got bone sigil shoulder guards. They're made out of leather, so we can't use them. However, they're kind of neat. And we can sell them for money. Now we have a new talent point to spend. And what does it want us to buy? It's supposed to tell us. I'm going to deal with that in a second. I want to get out of here so we don't get beat up by these things when they respawn. Oh, we're in combat. Something must have bugged.
Something must have bugged.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it says we're in combat, but like we're not because everything's dead.
Right.
But what I do whenever that happens is I just run away.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Because eventually it drops combat. Like, basically the game is designed so like being in combat prevents you from doing some stuff, to avoid to force you to play the game. Really, is what it is. So you can't like kind of do cheesy stuff like jump on your mount after you kill a monster or whatever. They want you to stick around. And so the next thing is we are going to try and find a guy, and there's a person. Spelunker Lockeye is stuck in this lava, so we got to help her. She's stuck on a grappling hook, so we get down here, and I throw a rope to her, and she's able to come on down. And then she hops out. I'm just going to get on my mount.
I mean, really? How the heck? Yeah.
Well, I mean, not everybody's cool like me and can fly. And so now we are done. We have saved the 3 people. We killed the 10 proto drakes. We've got the 15 scales. And so now we go. And I know where to go because I can see on the map up here that we want to turn in up here. And here we go. So now we're at a new camp. And Toddy Whiskers is here. So first, we get the dragons are nay here to meet us like Rathion said they were, which is true. Where is Rathion? He said he'd be here waiting for us with an ambassador for Alexstrasza the Lifebinder, Queen of the Dragons. Doesn't seem like a dragon to break a promise. Well, at least this eager Draconid, which is this guy, is here to welcome us. Can you talk to him and find out when the others are going to arrive? I'm going to turn in my quests real fast before I talk to him.
There was something else we left before we.
Yep, I did. Because this person's ready for me to talk to them, but I want to turn in my quests first.
Okay.
Just because they're bothering me.
Right.
So we turn into this guy. That may dissuade them from attacking the expedition camps for a time. It's eat or be eaten in the Dragon Isles. So we're done with that. Then we can talk to Thalen. There we go. I'll go pick up that quest later. And now we can come back and talk to Sendrax, who is this Draconid guy. It is truly an honor to be the first member of the Dragonflights to welcome you to these shores. I am Cadet Sendrax. Please forgive my nerves. This is my first assignment. What an incredible assignment it is. Welcome again. Should we shake hands? I believe I read somewhere that your kind likes to do that. And then I'm going to ask a question. Why aren't the dragons here to meet us? And he says, yes, I had expected Major Domo Solistra and Rathion to be here by now. But I am honored to be the one to welcome you to the Dragon Isles. On my first real assignment, no less. What good fortune. So we got the rookie hanging out with us, Mom.
That's cool. Being a rookie.
Yeah.
Wow. That.
Oh, that's somebody's mount.
Oh.
That's
There's somebody else in there playing with us.
Yep, that is. That is a Horde Orc Shaman. You can tell they're Horde because their name is in orange. Okay, so I accept the quest from him. Let's go do our talents. Okay, so now it wants us. So we're in the starter build, so it just tells us what to take. And so this one is Incanter's Flow. Basically, what this ability does is as you do damage, you get in cycles of 10 seconds, your damage goes up, and then it goes down, then it goes up, and then it goes down. And basically it's just a flat damage bonus to your damage, and it's just the longer the combat goes, it might cycle back down again, but it never gets worse. So this is just a straight buff. It's very good.
Okay.
And then this next one is Fingers of Frost. And basically what this is going to do is Frostbolt and Frozen Orb have a chance to grant a charge of Fingers of Frost. And basically what that means is it's going to make it so that my enemies are frozen, and my Ice Lances will now deal double damage. So they'll actually, what you'll start to see is this button down at the bottom will occasionally start flashing. And when it's flashing, that's when I want to hit it, because then I'll be doing double damage with it.
Double damage, okay.
So it's a good thing. And so now I have those two new abilities.
Things that we did earlier and when we were like Shimmer and Blink and Hot Streak and Scorch, and do we still have those?
Yeah,
Aren't
we do.
using them now? We aren't using them now.
I just haven't used them,
Okay.
but we still have them. They didn't go away.
The ones that you've chosen, these 5, these are like the best for this environment.
They are more or less, these are the ones that are recommended for beginners.
Okay.
As you can see, like these trees get kind of complicated, right? There's a lot of stuff. And so there's lots of choices we could make down the line, and some of them are very impactful. In the beginning, we're just kind of getting our core abilities. Like these things are like fundamental to how to be a frost mage. Like when you at high levels, you can't be a frost mage unless you know how to make enemies be frozen, and then deal the extra damage. It's like fundamentally what they do.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Is Frost Mage a subset of Mage?
Yes. So there's 3 different, basically every class has 3 they call them specializations that you can choose. So when you decided to be a mage,
right.
You ultimately had to, that was one piece of it, and that determines like your core stuff.
Right.
Let's see here.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I got a client messaging me, and I'm like,
okay.
I'm live streaming with my mom. Leave me alone. So there are 3 specializations for each class, right? For mages, they all do the same thing. They're all damage, right? Like the goal is to do damage. They just do it all differently. So like Frost is you reduce enemy movement, you control them, and then the idea is you freeze them, and then when they're frozen, you do extra damage. Fire is all about doing big critical hits. So it's a lot of you have bigger spells that have longer casting times, and your goal is to just basically drop bombs on them. And
right.
I'll be honest, I have no idea how arcane magic works. I've never played an arcane mage. I play for my mages are all frost mages because I know how to play them. But basically you pick one of them and you play through, but you could theoretically change them at any time.
Okay.
But
once you learned how to use all those tools, it would make sense to stick with it because you know how to do it.
Yeah, most of the people that I know pick a specialization and will kind of keep going with that, and they'll stay with a specific specialization for an expansion, and then maybe in the next expansion there will be changes to it that maybe make them want to change, things like that. But for the most part, yeah, like for me, I don't know many mages that are like, okay, I'm going to be frost here and then fire here.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you kind of pick one and stick with it.
Okay.
So we're frost. So some of those abilities, we're not going to mess with, but we have all these frost things going down. So now let's see here. So let's go take a look and see what the rest of the stuff is going on in this camp.
And put someone in a yellow outline, right?
Well, right now, so this person, Captain Garrick, has quests for us. So give peace a chance. It says, "Light be with you, Gold Hooves. The expedition is under the protection of both the Horde and the Alliance. Our orders are clear. Give aid to any members of the expedition, regardless of their allegiances. The Horde's representative, Warlord Grimax, and her daughter Shuja stand guard on the other side of camp. I fought with Warlord Grimax against the Scourge. She is noble and will serve this expedition well. Go offer her assistance. Show her that the Alliance honors its commitments." So she wants me to go talk to the Horde. I can do that. And we're going to hop on over there. And so this is the Horde camp. And
What?
this is Warlord Brecca Grimax. And
Wow.
her dog. You think Katie would want that haircut? I think she'd be kind of down, or maybe this one. I think Katie would be down with that hairstyle. I don't know if Rich would like it though. Give peace a chance. Warlord Brecca Grimax salutes your approach. Captain Garrick proves her honor once more by sending you to me. Completed. Okay, so the crafters, artisans, and explorers of the Dragonscale expedition are ill-suited for the vigors of battle, but not you and I, Goldhooves. Here in the Dragon Isles, let us use that strength to protect those who can't protect themselves. Clear out the elementals encroaching from the north so that the expedition can focus on their noble pursuits. So we got another quest from the Horde. We'll kill those guys.
We're going to clear it out. That means we're going to kill these people. Or things.
The bad guys, yeah. And then this guy, Aster Cloudgaze, has a quest for me. Use the Surveyor's Disc to bounce into the sky and scout the area. So we're going to accept that quest. And yeah, we're going to hop on here. And we are going to pop up in the air. And now it's going to show us some of the stuff. Oh, we got some fire giants doing some bad stuff. You just threw that guy into lava. That's rough. What a jerk. And
Those aren't players, are they? That's just
those were not players. No, that's just, yeah, those are bad guys. And so we're going to exit that. Oh, I guess I had more stuff to do. Oh, yeah, you got to do all these things. So we're going to search for allies now.
Allies, where are you?
Somebody on dragons. Oh, search for allies, and now search for power. Well, there's some elementals doing some stuff.
Yeah?
Yep, looks like some water guys doing some water stuff. And now we are done with that quest. Ready for a turn in. I thought for certain you would plummet to your death from up there. Thanks again for taking the risk so that I was not required to. Hey, wait a minute. Okay, so we are going. So the next thing we're gonna do is because we are coming close to time because it's almost 10, and I know you gotta get ready to go meet your friend. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pick professions. We're gonna give you a job. So the way the game works is you can have 2 professions, and there's a bunch of different ones. But what I think is probably smart for somebody who wears cloth armor like a mage is to be a tailor. So we're gonna go find the tailoring trainer. What that means is we're gonna find cloth on monsters that we can then turn into items later on.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then
You're looking for a tailor.
Yeah, they're around here somewhere. Here we are. And even better, the enchanting trainer is right there because we're going to pick up enchanting also so that you can enchant your gear. So I'm going to talk to this guy, Zane Starmaker, and I'm going to tell him to train me in tailoring. And now I'm going to spend my 10 copper and learn Dragon Isles tailoring, and now I have Dragon Isles cloth scavenging, so I will be good at getting cloth from humanoids. Okay. And now we're going to talk to this guy Vino. I like his glasses. We're going to talk to Vino, and we're going to learn how to enchant stuff. And what's neat about this, okay, he's got a quest for me. What's neat about that is as we find stuff that we don't need, as we find stuff that we don't need, we can just disenchant it, and then we can use that to make stuff, which is kind of neat. And
Fine.
so
We don't need, and we can
So-
disenchant it.
yep, I'll explain it once we get a
Okay.
piece. Oh, you know what? We have one. Let's go into our bags. Remember, we found these leather shoulder guards.
Right.
So I can go into my professions. Let's see. And I can hit the disenchant button, and my thing will glow, and then I mouse over this, and I do some stuff, and I turned it into chromatic dust that I can use to make stuff with.
Okay.
And now see, since it's a thing that I can make things out of, instead of being in this bag, it's in this one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I gained a point in enchanting because I just did. So, and so we'll make stuff with that later. But so this guy is always be crafting. Have you ever seen such powerful elementals? I hear the guards grumbling about having to fight them all the time, but they're missing the big picture. Bigger elementals mean bigger crafting components. When you're out there clearing the elementals out for our safety or whatever it is you're doing, be sure to pick up pieces of the biggest ones you find. I want to try making something. So it tells us to go find a primal earthen core and a primal molten core. So now we have a specific quest to go get some guys. And this person, quality assurance, looking for work. I represent a new trade company. And then it's test Hephaestus tools on nearby goods. So I don't know what it's asking me to do here. Oh, it wants us to go into this new quest area. So let's go in and actually wait. Yeah, we got a little bit. Let me go in and let me pick up the quest from this guy. And then we can see how much we can get done in a couple of minutes. Adventuring in the Dragon Isles. Review the scouting map to choose an area within the Dragon Isles to support. Oh, this is actually a much better thing than doing those quests. We get to take a look at the 4 zones and decide what we want to do.
Okay.
So, what's cool about Dragonflight? Hey, it's Megamon. Hi, Megamon. And so Megamom, I think you have met Megamom. Megamom is she got married at the church a bunch of years ago.
Oh.
She LARPs with us, and you've definitely met her at some point. I have to imagine.
Okay.
But Megamom is a long time ago. Probably around that time. So what's cool about Dragonflight, the way that it works is there's 4 zones, but you can do them in any order, which is really neat. So when we click on this battle map, it's going to show us the 4 different zones that you can do quests in. So the 4 choices, and you get to pick. We'll go through and we'll kind of get started. So what it'll do is it'll give us a quest to go to that spot and figure it out. So the first one is the Waking Shores, which is the home of the black and red Dragonflight. And basically this is the Draconid Sendrax is looking for help aiding all of the newcomers within the Waking Shores. That's the first. This is like where we are right now, basically. The Onaran Plains are where the Green Dragonflight and the Centaurs live. The Green Dragonflight needs the aid of adventurers. To do so, you must ally with the Centaur of the Plains. So that's that one. Then there's the Azure Span, the Kirin Tor, which is a bunch of wizards. Need all help they can get in tracking down the Blue Dragon Oathstone. Some of our mages have been spotted on the Onaran Plains looking for help. Also here we get to meet the Tuskar, which are like walrus people. And then Thaldraszus, Alexstrasza the Lifebinder is arranging a meeting at the seat of the Aspects to discuss the threat of the Primalists. She has put out a call for any willing adventurers to come to help. We're going to do all 4 of these by the time this is done. So just a matter of, do you want to stay here? Do you want to go to the plains and hang out with centaurs? Do you want to meet the walrus people? Or do you want to go to the capital city and meet Alexstrasza?
I want to stay with the black and red where we are.
All right, so we're going to stay here. Fair enough. And so what it does is it gives us a little quest. And so now we are here, and so then it sends us back to this homie right here. If we had chosen a different place, it would have given us a quest. Like, we would have looked on the big world map, and it would have told us where to go, and we would have just flown there.
But we're in the same place, so we're just going back to the same guy.
Yep, exactly. There would have been another character somewhere else on the map. So now we got Sendrax, and so he's got the Waking Shores quest. And now we are kind of moving on. We have another one. So it's help Ambassador Fastraz restore the embassy. And that is all kind of around here. This is kind of the embassy.
Okay.
Let's see. And we are, because we got this building that got all jacked up. So we're going to go help clean it up.
Okay.
And this guy is also the innkeeper. So one thing we definitely want to do, just like we did back in Stormwind, is we want to make this in our home. So now when we use our Hearthstone, we get brought back here. And now we talk to him again, and I'm going to be on a quest, and I'm going to say I'm a new arrival to with the Dragon Scale Expedition. And he's going to say, take this guide. It shows the embassy's many amenities if it weren't all in disrepair. So that's the guide. We're gonna it wants us to look at the guest book, and it wants us to fill out the form. Okay, so now it asks us for what name we want to sign. So we can sign it as Goldhooves Draenei Mage, Archmage Goldhooves, a bunch of names that are lies. Rathion's BFF is an option. Goldhooves, the real Queen of the Dragon.
These are just meant to be funny. I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, this is a joke. So,
okay.
So I'm just going to sign it as your name.
Okay.
Unless what do you want?
To the dragons, but that's okay.
Oh, you want to be the real Queen of the Dragons? Fair enough. We did it. And then it asks for your arrival time. And so you can write today's date. You can write today's date, hour, minute, and second. Your arrival time could be tomorrow, the not too distant future, as quickly as I could. Sorry, I'm late. I'm always late. Precisely when I meant to. After everyone's done setting up. Last call, I hope. And let's see here. And then I don't believe in time. So when is your arrival time, Mom?
Well, I don't want to tell him. I don't want to tell him that I'm always late because I never am. So I think I would like to do the second one with hour, minute, and second. I think that's pretty funny.
We got it. All right. And the purpose of your visit is to aid the Dragonflights, accompanying the Dragon Scale Expedition, personally invited by Alexstrasza, for the Horde, for the Alliance, for Azeroth, for the cute baby ducks. My purpose is my own, to save the world again. Which, you know, the bit here is that every expansion we end up saving the world in some way. To help those in need, to best mighty foes in glorious battle. Why does anyone do anything for the loot? I was this one's probably pretty close. I was dragged here by someone I care about. And then the last one is, you tell me I don't read quests, I just complete them.
I like the one about glorious battle.
Okay, there we go. To best mighty foes in glorious battle. There we go. We signed the guest book. And
that's pretty funny, though.
It is pretty funny. Those are pretty. Honestly, I didn't read those the first time I did it, so that was kind of funny. Now we've got to read the welcome message, which is over here.
Okay.
Welcome, friends of the Dragonflights. May your journeys in the Dragon Isles bring you tranquility, confidence, and camaraderie. While you travel these isles, reflect on this portion of the tablet is broken off. Remember our oaths to Azeroth, symbolized in the oath stones at the seats of power for each Dragonflight. We ask, this portion of the tablet has been broken off, for life and for Azeroth, Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder, Queen of the Dragons.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like there's some work to be done.
Yeah.
Fixing that. And lastly, the Brazier of Kinship Relit, which is down this way. I'm gonna guess it's Brazier as opposed to Brazier. So I'm just guessing. And it's down this thing. Yeah, it's a Brazier.
Okay. It's a brazier.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not a Brazier. I mean, that would be a different kind of quest.
As soon as you said that, I said, "Oh, it's some kind of armor." So
yeah, no, it's
it's
this thing. So yeah, it's definitely a brazier. Although I always get that wrong when I spell it that way, and honestly, it took me a very long time to understand that it is different. And so now we go. I'm gonna get on him out. So now we look. We did that. And now we can turn in this quest to Sendrax.
Hey, Sendrax, we did what we said we'd do.
Yeah, we cleaned up your mess. My first real emergency. Uh-oh. Convince Sendrax to fire her emergency signal flare to alert the dragons of your arrival. I mean, and I'm going to tell him to do it. Send the signal flare to alert the dragons. We were trained to only use these signal flares if the situation is dire, but I suppose this is the type of emergency. Sure is. Oop, there we go. Signal flare sent.
So that little icon that's like a cartoon speaker place, that came up and you clicked on it on the right side. It looked like you were supposed to say something. What do you call those?
Yeah. It's a.
Yeah. And so, but you don't. It all it is doing is telling you to go over to that thing on the left and click on it.
Correct. Oh, and here we go. We got some more people showing up. Here we go. Raytheon's here, and Major Domo Salithra or Salistra. They're having a whole conversation. We saw the flare and assumed the worst. What is wrong? The new arrivals were wondering where you were, and I thought, uh-oh. I see. Yeah, this guy's a little nervous. There is reason for our absence. An ancient rival, the Jaredin, have stirred for violence once again. Those were those guys that were throwing each other in lava. Dragonheart Outpost has already fallen. Uh-oh. That's not cool. Well then, Goldhooves, what do you say? Do you fancy a fight alongside your newfound dragon acquaintances? I assure you there is no quicker way to earn their trust.
Well, that would be true.
I'll see what Major Domo Salistra says. The Jaredin have awoken. I wish we'd time for more pleasant introductions, but we can't all be Chronormu, can we? That's the guy in charge of time. I am Salistra, Major Domo of Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder, Queen of the Dragons. Queen Alexstrasza asked me to convey her kindest regards and escort you to her at the life pools, but I'm afraid I must ask for your assistance before we can go meet her. Our ancient rivals, the Jaredin, have awoken from their slumber under the earth and have already assaulted a nearby outpost. So my quest objectives are to get the orders from Major Domo, and then I'm going to ask a question, and it will be the quest option. How can I help defend against them? And hopefully they'll tell me. Cadet Sendrax, escort the adventurer to Commander Lethanak outside Dragonheart Outpost. Assist with the evacuation of the whelplings and the wounded. And this very excited guy, Sendrax, to help us get there. But do hurry along, champion. After all, we wouldn't want the battle to be over before we even arrive. Sure, Rathian, sure. But he's going to turn into a dragon and fly away. So we are going to go into the inn, though, because it is 10 o'clock, and I know you have to leave soon. So we're going to stop for today. And so, as you know, I'm in the inn. The way we can tell is because we got the Z's.
Right.
And so now we are all set. Right?
Right.
So we started our adventure in the Dragon Isles. We explored Stormwind. We got here. We did some quests. We got you some new professions. We got some new abilities.
Yep.
And now we are off to, this is our next quest spot when we get there.
Okay.
And we're going to go beat up some elemental guys. And look at all this unexplored territory on the map. We got lots of stuff to do.
Unbelievable.
Including a dungeon, which we will likely do at some point.
Yeah, we did a dungeon previously. That was cool.
Yeah, we're gonna do. We are likely going to have another one to do very soon. So
right. So review for me one more time. Sous Chef Butterfingers. That's cute. Review for me the 5 things that are in those boxes. Third. Yeah. Review for me one more time what my powers are.
Sure. So starting with these big 3. This one at the top is Blizzard.
Okay.
So this is the one that does this.
Right.
And rains ice and snow from above.
Right.
This one is Frozen Orb, which shoots out that sphere of ice damage.
Right.
And this one down here is Ice Lance. That
Ice Lance.
This is the one that does extra damage against frozen targets, and also, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, when for example, when 4 or 5 little dragons were attacking us all at once, you used you froze them, and then you used those darts.
Yep. Because they're fast.
One by one. Gotcha.
Exactly. Because they're fast, and those are little. And then on these things, there's just that Frost Nova that I cast it and it freezes everything around me.
Right.
This is counter spell that I can use if somebody's casting a spell at me. I can hit that and it prevents them from casting the spell.
Okay.
And this is Ice Block, which prevents me from taking damage from stuff.
Okay.
And this is my Ice Barrier Shield.
I saw you use that. Yeah.
And this down here is Blink.
Blink is the one that moves you.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And so now they'll sit and they'll show me their cooldowns. And you can even see. And so now we got all sorts of cooldowns going. Make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. The powers that I had before when I was building that we're not using anymore, like Hot Streak and Scorch, those are still on the bottom right corner. They're there, right? We just don't use them right now because we're Frost.
Hot Streak and Scorch are fire abilities.
Right.
So we don't use those.
So they're parked there. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Got it. Yep.
All right. So, thank you everybody for watching today. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We are going to do this probably, once every week or so. So, if we end up getting on like a better schedule, I'll start posting some more announcements so that people can know when they're happening. We do kind of wing it, but most of the time it's in the morning.
Let me ask one more question.
Of course, Mom.
I see the live stream chat on the right of my screen, but it doesn't. All it does is show me the first 5 words. It doesn't show me who it is. Can I expand that so I can follow?
If you click the live stream chat, it will give you all the people.
Oh, there it is. I clicked. I didn't want to do it while we were recording because I wanted to make sure. Okay, good.
And now you can see
Now I can see what people are saying.
Yes, you can. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will be back soon with some more EFG content. And until next time, don't forget, get your family game on. We'll see y'all soon, everybody. Bye.